Okay, we've got some breaking news coming in the latest revelations emerging from the Pegasus hacking scandal, where now the Washington Post has published an article. The Washington Post is part of the consortium of media houses which is also publishing names of those reportedly targeted by the Israeli spyware Pegasus. And the latest set of names that have come out in the Washington Post piece include Rahul Gandhi, the Congress party leader and one of the country's key opposition leaders. Rahul Gandhi's name is also apparently on the list of those reportedly targeted by Pegasus. It also mentions Ashok Lavasa, who, of course, as we know, is the former election commissioner who subsequently resigned in 2020 and left the election commission, somebody who had turned out to be somewhat problematic for the government in the 2019 elections. He is also on the list. So the big breaking story is, yesterday we'd heard the names of journalists and we'd heard the names of activists that had been published by The Wire and the other media organizations tracking the story, who were reportedly on this list of names, potentially targets of Pegasus, the spyware. Now Rahul Gandhi's name is also on the list. Remember, yesterday we were told by The Wire that the list contains not just journalists and activists, but there are opposition leaders, there are even ministers in the government, there are constitutional functionaries, businessmen, and so on and so forth. And now, as I said, we are beginning to get an indication of the wide-ranging spread, supposedly, of the targets of Pegasus. So this is the latest that has come out in the Pegasus unfolding scandal. My colleague Mariam Alavi is also joining me, and we'll be going across as well as to other colleagues who are tracking the story in Parliament as well, where it's turned into a big story. So Mariam, now we're seeing, as the indication had been given, that political names have started to come out. The biggest name so far is that of Rahul Gandhi.
Yes, Vasu. So The Wire has published multiple pieces on the Pegasus hack. This is after yesterday's story, which showed about over 40 journalists, Indian journalists, were being targeted by Pegasus. Some of them were successfully targeted, the others were attempted. Now the second tranche, tranche of stories have come out from Wire, which shows one of the biggest names is Rahul Gandhi. Also, Wire is reporting that Prashant Kishore has been hacked by Pegasus, and also Abhishek Banerjee, Mamta Banerjee's nephew, was also selected as a potential snoop target for Pegasus. As you mentioned, also Wire is reporting at the moment that Ashok Lavasa was also placed on the snoop list as Election Commission was flagging Modi's 2019 poll code violations. So just to remind our viewers, Ashok Lavasa was the election commissioner during the run-up to the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. He was one of the he was the one who had sent a dissenting note on the clearance given to Modi and Amit Shah for their alleged poll code violations at the time. Apparently, he's also there on the list. The other names that are coming out in the story is, according to The Wire, BJP ministers, at least 2 of them, have been placed in the list of potential Pegasus targets. This is including Ashwini Vaishnav and Prahlad Patel. This is interesting because just earlier, Ashwini Vaishnav was defending the government in the Pegasus incident, and now his name has also surfaced as a potential Pegasus target. Vasu.
All right, so this is big breaking news coming in. Now we can start flashing all those names on screen. Just to recap then, the latest set of names that are emerging from this. Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra's name is not there. We need to correct that immediately. Rahul Gandhi's name is amongst those that has been targeted. Along with, at the same time, the names that are also coming in are of Prashant Kishore, political strategist. His name is also on the list. He's also been targeted, as is Abhishek Banerjee, who is a nephew of Mamta Banerjee, leader of the TMC, also has been targeted. But interestingly, as Mariam was just pointing out, we also have 2 union ministers on the list, including Abhinav Vaishnav, who's the current IT minister. And he was, as Mariam pointing out, just now, moments ago, on the floor of Parliament, defending this set of allegations, saying that there was no wrongdoing by the government. But he is also on the list, as is Prahlad Patel, who is Minister of State for Food Processing and Jal Shakti. He is also on the list, and also the problematic ex-election commissioner Ashok Lavasa also on this list. So these are the big names that are coming out right now. In fact, the Wire report, correct me if I'm wrong, Mariam, is actually suggesting that in the case of Prashant Kishore, it found that because there were a clutch of names that was actually given, a clutch of phone numbers or phones that were actually given for forensic testing to test whether they were in fact infected or continue to be infected with Pegasus, and apparently Prashant Kishore was one of them.
Yes, it does say that Prashant Kishore's phone was broken into using NSO Group's Pegasus spyware. And this is according to the digital forensics conducted by Amnesty International Security Lab. So that's almost a confirmation that Prashant Kishore's phone was analyzed forensically, and they did find evidence that the Pegasus spyware was deployed onto his phone and his phone was compromised. So, in fact, we were told that about 10 Indian numbers were analyzed by Amnesty's security lab, and of these, all of them were either successfully hacked or at least there was an attempt to compromise their phones. We know multiple names, including many journalists, including Sushant Singh of former Indian Express, whose phone was compromised as early as, just earlier this year, Siddharth Varadarajan of The Wire, M.K. Venu of The Wire, multiple other journalists, like Vijayta Singh of The Hindu. There was an attempt to compromise her phone, but they couldn't find any trace of an actual compromise on her phone. But so now it seems that we can add another name to that list, that is of Prashant Kishore.
All right, so just to recap, for our viewers, then the breaking news coming in that the targets or the supposed targets of this Pegasus spyware is not just journalists and activists, but now political figures as well coming in. Rahul Gandhi is apparently on that list of names that were potential targets of Pegasus spyware. Prashant Kishore, political strategist, somebody who's been involved in fighting campaigns for many opposition leaders, is on the list. And Mamta Banerjee's nephew Abhishek Banerjee on the list as well as his election commissioner, ex-election commissioner Ashok Lavasa. M.K. Venu of The Wire is on the phone with us. Venu is of course part of The Wire, which has been one of the media partners breaking this story. Thank you, Venu, for joining us. So now, Venu, it appears that political targets, opposition figures were also on this Pegasus list. But of course, the government continuing to insist that there has been no wrongdoing from their side.
Yeah, you can see the political opposition leaders are there, and in the case of Prashant Kishore, his instrument was also tested for Pegasus, and during his most active period when he was involved in the West Bengal election campaign. And he's probably the only opposition, if you could call him that, since he only works with the opposition leaders, only person whose phone has been tested for Pegasus.
And it is found to be, and Prashant Kishore, this is important, Prashant Kishore's phone is found to be currently, it is still actively infected or was infected as recently as when the testing was done. So we're talking about the past month or so?
Yeah, past month or so. And Srinivasan, the astonishing thing is, we still can't figure, Prashant Kishore probably cannot figure, or even those who were tested in June, can't be sure whether they are still being surveilled. There is no way of, because there is nobody, no authority, nobody is willing to give clarification on what is going on. And the minister has just told the Parliament, Minister for IT, that use of Pegasus is not necessarily does not necessarily mean illegal surveillance or surveillance.
Right.
Now, I don't know what he means by that. Does he mean that they are using Pegasus or they're buying Pegasus, they bought Pegasus from the Israeli company? Is that the inference that we should draw?
Okay. Right, interesting. Venu, stay on the line with us. Let's get more breaking reactions coming in. Derek O'Brien, senior leader of the Trinamool Congress Rajya Sabha MP, is on the phone line with us. Derek O'Brien, your first reactions to the fresh set of names that have come in, including Abhishek Banerjee, who's leader of your party, and Prashant Kishore, who is a political strategist for the Trinamool Congress.
Yeah, Mr. Srinivasan Jain, I'm watching your channel. You've written there Prashant Kishore and Mamta's nephew. His name is Abhishek Banerjee. He is a two-time MP and he's an All India General Secretary of the Trinamool Congress. The All India General Secretary,
Yes.
the one we have. So if you could just kindly in the next 10 minutes make that correction. Otherwise, it doesn't give the... He's the General Secretary of the All India Trinamool Congress. We only have one All India General Secretary. That is Abhishek Banerjee. And I'm picking up from your channel.
Okay, we will change that. We will add that as well. But
now let me tell you.
Yes.
Now let me tell you. This is even though you are breaking this news, the minister himself on the floor of the House has admitted. The minister today, look at the statement he has made. He is not even denying that this thing was used. Okay, he is not denying. Now is beyond the time for phonos and TV interviews. Parliament is in session, and when Parliament is in session, the Prime Minister, the Home Minister, they can't find the Bakra and the IT Minister, the new IT Minister who is trying to answer questions in Parliament. The Prime Minister and Mr. Shah have to come to the floor of Parliament and answer the hard questions. But the good news in all this, the IT Minister on the floor of Lok Sabha today admits that Pegasus was used. Let me also confirm, Mr. Jain, that the Trinamool Congress will be... We have so many other important issues in Parliament which are equally important.
Of course.
Like fuel price hike, like repeal the farmer laws, like federalism, like MP-led funds, like the state of the economy, inflation. But tomorrow or day after, we will talk to all other opposition parties. This must come to the floor of Parliament. No getting away.
Right.
The Gujarat model of 2002 is now becoming the India model of 2021. Come, Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah, and answer the hard questions on the floor of Parliament and not in some conference hall which they are booking to make a COVID presentation. Since you asked me that, Mr. Jain, may I also tell you, we also want COVID to be discussed in Parliament, Pegasus to be discussed in Parliament, not in a conference hall as this government is suggesting that they'll do it tomorrow.
Okay, but of course, that is your demand. But Derek O'Brien, you know, the IT Minister, the statement he made, the government is trying to clarify, saying that that is not in any way an acceptance of the fact that they used Pegasus. The government's overall position still seems to be, we have not done any illegal spying or any illegal hacking or surveillance. Do you buy that?
This government lies through its teeth. This government lies through its teeth. This motto of this government is, Big Brother is watching. I want to quote one line which the IT Minister, I wasn't in Lok Sabha, but I picked this line up, which he said in Lok Sabha, and I quote the IT Minister, any form of illegal surveillance is not possible due to well-established protocols in India. He also said, he also admitted to using Pegasus. So come on now, we don't need to do phono for this. Let's come to Parliament and answer the questions there. Let me confirm with you, Trinamool is moving a notice on this tomorrow.
Okay, last word from you though. Are you concerned? I mean, obviously, you all would have had a heads up about this because I think the media organizations would have been in touch with those who were targeted in advance. But when you came to know of this, you know, was there concern amongst the party that, you know, a senior leader's phone has been targeted?
We've just fought this very nasty election with the BJP. We assumed for the last many years.
Right.
We assumed for the last many years that all our phones were targeted in any case. We just assumed that. Now the sad part in all this is that they targeted the phones, they got the information, they eavesdropped, they snooped, but they still got rejected by the people of Bengal. And Mamta Banerjee's Trinamool Congress whipped Modi and Shah, whipped them into submission.
Okay. So you will push for more answers for this in Parliament. Derek O'Brien, we will reconnect with you in a bit on this breaking story. Thank you very much indeed for speaking to us. Okay, let's go across now to more reactions. Arvind Gunasekar, my colleague, is joining us. He's been tracking this big story in Parliament. So Arvind, you know, now we already were seeing the Pegasus pot boiling, as it were, since the morning. But now with the names coming out of Rahul Gandhi, Prashant Kishore and others, what sort of political responses are you seeing? We believe the Congress is holding a briefing in about 10 minutes from now. So is it all now linked to this escalating Pegasus story?
Yeah, Vasu, Congress briefing will start shortly, where the Congress will give an official response or reaction to this particular story, the explosive, the breaking that is making waves in the country. And what we are also hearing is that Congress has called for the Parliament strategy meeting somewhere around 6 p.m. It will be chaired by the senior Congress leader and also the leader of opposition in Rajya Sabha, Mallikarjuna Kharge. Almost 14 Congress leaders, including Manish Tiwari, Shashi Tharoor, P. Chidambaram, Digvijay Singh, K.C. Venugopal, and all the important senior leaders in Parliament. They will be meeting at the Parliament. That's what we are hearing, the office of Mallikarjuna Kharge around 6 p.m. where they'll be deciding on the future course of action. What we are being told is that after this particular meeting, Mallikarjuna Kharge will reach out to the opposition parties to bridge a coalition to corner the government on the Pegasus story tomorrow. The Congress wants to raise this issue tomorrow. Today, the Congress did not see this coming, where the Minister for Electronics and Information Technology, Ashwini Vaishnav, making a statement today at the House. They didn't see this coming. So when the opposition parties were protesting, all of a sudden, Ashwini Vaishnav, he made a statement on the Pegasus story. But the Congress opposition parties, what we are hearing is that they're not going to buy this particular statement. They wanted a detailed statement, not just from Minister of Electronics and Information Technology. They want the Prime Minister and also the Home Minister to come to the House and to give a clarification on whether government subscribed to this particular spyware, the Israeli spyware, this Pegasus. So they're going to keep up the ante, they're going to keep up the momentum. That's what we are hearing. So from tomorrow, what we are hearing is that the opposition parties will protest on this particular issue, both inside and also outside the House.
All right, okay, thanks very much indeed. Okay, let's go across very quickly to Mariam with more names and more details coming in. One set of names being reported by The Wire, in addition to the names that we've already reported, is, Mariam, that even aides of Rahul Gandhi, apart from Rahul Gandhi's own personal phones, the numbers of two of his close aides, Alankar Sawai and Sachin Rao, also figure in the leaked database around the middle of 2019. But go ahead if you want to add anything more.
Yes, Vasu. So with Rahul Gandhi's hack, we've been told that with Gandhi's phones are not among those examined, as he no longer has the handsets he used at the time that his numbers appear to have been selected for targeting. So we don't have actual conclusive proof of whether they were successful in compromising Rahul Gandhi's phone or not. But just for a moment, coming back to Prashant Kishore for a moment, here we have some more interesting details about when their phone was compromised. The Wire report says that Kishore's phone a Pegasus attack was initiated in 2018, just months prior to the general elections of 2019. This was at a time when there was considerable speculation over who Kishore and his much in demand election consultancy organization IPAC would be assisting in the elections. Though this seems to have been unsuccessful, a successful attempt was made later on April 28th, just a day before the last phase of polling in the 8th-phase assembly election in West Bengal. They also say that traces of Pegasus on Kishore's phone were also detected in June 2021 and July 2021, including on July 13th, I beg your pardon, on July 13th, which was the day when he met Congress leaders Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi in Delhi. In fact, a hack of Kishore's phone occurred even on the date that The Wire met him, and Amnesty International helped conduct forensic analysis on it. So this is as recent as just earlier this month that they found proof of Prashant Kishore's phone being compromised. Also, just to let our viewers know, it's not just the two union ministers that have been compromised or selected for targeting under Pegasus. There are multiple others who are linked to the BJP who have been selected. Also on the list is the personal secretary to Vasundhara Raje Scindia when she was BJP's chief minister in Rajasthan, and Sanjay Kachru, who worked as an OSD for Smriti Irani in her first years as a union minister in the Modi government from 2014 to 15. Other junior politicians linked to the BJP and the Vishwa Hindu Parishad's leader Praveen Togadia, a long-time opponent of Modi from his days as chief minister, were also there in the database.
Okay, so interesting details there about the personal staff of both Smriti Irani and Vasundhara Raje also appear to feature in this list. Let's also just go across now to some more breaking news coming in. The statement that has been put out by Ashwini Vaishnav, who's India's new IT minister, is also just been released, and we will just put that up for you. Remember, his name itself features in the list. This is the great irony, that his name itself features in the list. Of course, this appears to be from an earlier time, before he perhaps was even in the BJP, but his name also features in the list. And he's put out a statement saying this is a highly sensational story published by a web portal. This has just come a day before Parliament. He says even earlier similar claims were made about the use of Pegasus on WhatsApp, and the basis of this report is a consortium which has got access to a leaked database of 50,000 numbers, and so on and so forth. The report itself clarifies that the presence of a number does not amount to snooping. He also has pointed out to NSO's denial that NSO has said that many of the list of countries using Pegasus as per the story is incorrect. NSO itself has rubbished the report. There is no substance behind this sensationalism, is what he has said, talking about how in India there is a well-established procedure through which lawful interception of electronic communication is carried out for the purpose of national security, etc., etc. All right, okay. So basically he's saying the procedure therefore ensures that any interception or monitoring of any information is done as per due process. Okay, let's just actually play you a clip of Ashwini Vaishnav, because he also was making the statement in Parliament. Let's listen into what he said, and then let's open up the debate.
The report itself clarifies that presence of a number in the list does not amount to snooping. Honorable Speaker, sir, now let us examine what the NSO, the company which owns the technology, has said. I quote, NSO Group believes that claims that you have provided with are based on misleading interpretation of leaked data from basic information such as HLR lookup services, which have no bearing on the list of the customers targets of Pegasus or any other NSO product. Such services are openly available to anyone, anywhere and anytime, and are commonly used by governmental agencies as well as by private companies worldwide. It is beyond dispute that the data has nothing to do with surveillance or with NSO, so there can be no factual basis to suggest that a use of the data somehow equates to surveillance. I highlight, sir, NSO has also said that the list of countries shown using Pegasus is incorrect. And many countries mentioned are not even our clients. It also said that most of its clients are Western countries. It is evident, Honorable Chairman, sir, Speaker, sir, that NSO has also clearly rubbished the claims in the report.
So Minister Vaishnav there on the floor of Parliament just moments before his own name has featured in this list of leaked supposed targets of Pegasus. Let's open it up to panel. We've got with us Aishwarya Mahadev, the Congress, is joining us on the phone line. Shahdan Farasat, Supreme Court advocate, Pawan Duggal, cyber expert, and on the phone line with us, PKD Nambiar, political analyst, supports the BJP. PKD Nambiar, we've been hearing these repeated sort of denials from the government, but now with these new names coming out, Rahul Gandhi's name is on the list, Prashant Kishore his name is on the list. Is the government now on the back foot? Because these denials are not very clear. They're not outright denying whether or not they actually purchased the use of Pegasus.
Well, Srinivasan, I think the government yesterday itself has very clearly and categorically clarified that this does not exist and all these claims may be a motivated one. I think in the floor of the House, if the country's IT minister is again categorically denying that, I would like to believe the government. And if they are categorically denying this particular Snoopgate which we are talking, and it is also yesterday in your own channel we were discussing, it is like more of like a very secular list. It is not a government needs to monitor or tap their own, the ministers' phones are tapped. That itself gives
but you know,
a feeling
one or two things I want to just point out to you, Mr. Nambiar, because I think there's a lot of misinformation and misdirection on what the government is actually denying or not denying. the government is not categorically anywhere, even in this latest statement by the IT minister, denied the fact that whether they actually have purchased and used the spyware Pegasus. They are simply saying that we have done no wrong, we have not done any illegal interception. They have not specifically denied the use of Pegasus. They are number two citing, one second, they are number two citing the supposed denials by the NSO group, which is the, the parent company of Pegasus. Again, NSO group is not denying anything. They are simply saying we only sell to government agencies, certified government agencies. We do not target journalists, etc., etc. We only sell it to certified government agencies who use it to fight terror. So again, why would the government of India quote a non-denial by a private foreign entity? Surely the government of India's concern should be if there's the slightest apprehension that some surveillance is being used against Indian citizens, that they must immediately order a probe into it, instead of trying to say this is a non-story.
There is another aspect to this particular stuff, Srinivasan, that the wires which broke this whole story and the amount of list of people is that it did not go to any kind of an agency within the country, as if they don't value our system, our law and our judiciary. Rather, they went to an Amnesty International, which already been...
No, Mr. Nambiar.
So I think...
Mr. Nambiar, again the facts. I'm only interrupting on the facts. Firstly, this is not broken by just one wire. It is 15 global media organizations, including Washington Post, Guardian, etc., etc. The data was received by a French NGO, and each country got its respective tranche. Amnesty International is a partner in this whole exercise. It was not the wire's individual choice. Number one. Number two, the forensic analysis of at least a dozen phones in India, including that of Prashant Kishore, according to the report, the Wire and the Washington Post report, is still actively under surveillance by Pegasus. So that does raise the question about whether this is just a speculative list or an active list. But I'll come back to you, Mr. Nambiar. Now, Aishwarya Mahadev, what do you make of this? Because now we see Rahul Gandhi's name is on the list. Apparently, the names of two of his aides, Alankar and Sachin Rao, is also on the list, but the government is continuing to insist that they have nothing to do with it.
Srinivasan, if you had any doubt ever of who is behind this, I think now this new tranche of names make it amply clear as to who exactly is snooping on whom. And I'll tell you the most unfortunate thing in a country that still prides itself on calling itself a democracy, you see this sort of authoritarian surveillance happening and only denial from the government from last year. Let me give you a sequence of events, right? 2019, when WhatsApp first flagged the fact that Pegasus was used, and not in an Indian court, they were talking about it in America during another hearing. It was first flagged, the government kept quiet. Then you saw that in Parliament, the junior minister for Home was caught when his response showed that they're okay with surveillance, but absolutely no answer on Pegasus. Now you see the hard fact of the people who are being spied upon. You also see that NSO. And one more thing I want to clarify.
But I just want to ask you though, Aishwarya, one second. The timeline we will come to later, but right now the breaking news, the fact that one of your top leaders, Rahul Gandhi's name is on the list, is that a matter of worry for you? That he could have been under surveillance?
Worry, Srinivasan. Absolutely. Any leader of opposition, anybody who is of any political interest, might forget all of that. Any human being who is being surveilled against their will and their right to privacy being invaded is as serious as the next person. And this is the tallest leader in the opposition. But my leader, Rahul Gandhi, being surveilled is absolutely, extremely dangerous also, because this is an Orwellian nightmare.
But at the same time, but at the same time, one has to keep pointing out that the names are the names on a list. It's not clear whether they were all surveilled or not. A clutch of names who submitted their phone data for analysis were found to have actually, some of them were found to have been infected. So one set of people, a smaller subset, found to be infected, another wider subset, potential targets as per the story. But Shahzan Farasat, just to ask you, what is the legal sort of recourse here for anybody, I mean, apart from the political battle, for anyone who say finds themselves supposedly targeted by this software? How do you fight this? Because we don't even know who's behind it.
Yeah, I think so. To answer your question, firstly, I think the government's denial is in fact an admission. The very fact that they have not specifically said that they did not purchase Pegasus is quite clear that they have purchased Pegasus. Otherwise, the government would say they have not. I mean, we are out of the question. The fact that NSO sells it only to governments, and therefore these people in India who are being targeted, the fact that they have not denied they purchased it, and the fact that these people are being targeted in India, it's clear that obviously it's the government which has purchased it, which is targeting it. A private entity cannot target it. Azerbaijan has no interest in targeting Rahul Gandhi and Prashant Kishore or any other country on that list, right? Now, in terms of legally what the response is, NSO may say it is selling it to government of India only for, or any other government only for the purpose of counter-terrorism. But our law does not even allow that. What's the basis of government of India to use it? Even assuming I mean, of course, these are all cases not of terror. These are journalists, intellectuals, politicians being targeted.
Right.
But I am saying even for the valid purpose for which NSO is selling it to the government of India, how is government of India authorized to use it under Indian laws? It's not.
Okay, let's get a quick comment on this from Pawan Duggal, because also I believe the Congress is just starting a press conference perhaps on this subject. Quick comment from you, Pawan Duggal. Is this in its very conception, it's illegal?
In India, under the IT Act, interception can only be done through legal means. It cannot be done through spyware. Any interception done through spyware is cyber crimes, offences under Section 66, read with Section 43 of the IT Act, Section 66B, C, D of the IT Act. And it could also be coming under the broader umbrella of the offence of cyber terror under Section 66F. Because the purpose of this ultimately is to instill terror in the hearts of the target group who are potentially being targeted. So it's a much, much serious exercise. Such kind of an exercise is not permissible either under the Indian Constitution or under the IT Act, are distinct offences under the IT Act and the Indian Penal Code, and also constitute gross violations of your fundamental right to privacy under Article 21 of the Constitution of India.
Right. So in that itself, that it is, as you said, it constitutes a cyber crime. Let's go across to get some more live reactions coming in. I believe we have with us Mahesh Verma is on the phone line with us. He is in fact joining us via Skype, and also Jagdeep Chokhar is with us, Association of Democratic Reforms. Mahesh Verma, what are your reactions now? This breaking story, it seems Rahul Gandhi, his name is on the list, Prashant Kishore. In fact, two people who are currently ministers in the BJP government, their names are also on the list. This now the opposition says clearly points to the fact that this is the government behind this.
सरकार का तो इसमें कोई इस तरह की मुझे नहीं लगता है कि किसी तरह का कोई रोल है कि वो इसको जस्टिफाई। हेलो,
हाँ जी, आपकी बोलिए जी, आपकी आवाज आ रही है। हाँ,
मैं श्रीनिवासन जी आपको ये कहना चाह रहा हूँ कि सरकार का कोई ऐसा रोल नहीं है कि जो इसको जस्टिफाई करे। कोई हैकर्स ने अगर किसी का इस तरह का हैकिंग किया है और उसके सारे डाटा इस तरह से गलत काम को अंजाम दिया है, तो उसके लिए मैं समझता हूँ कि पर्सनल कैपेसिटी में जो देश का कानून है उसके तहत कंप्लेन भी करना चाहिए।
ओके, देश के कानून पे करना चाहिए। मैं एक सेकंड आपको इसलिए काट रहा हूं क्योंकि इस पे कांग्रेस की एक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस हो रही है। विल जस्ट हैव टू गो अक्रॉस टू इट, विल कम बैक इन अ सेकंड।
खुद ही इजरायली जासूसी उपकरण पिगेसस के माध्यम से ये नृशंस कार्य कर रही है, और ये तो एक सैंपल है। पिगेसस सॉफ्टवेयर करता क्या है? ये किसी के भी टेलीफोन में उसकी मर्जी के बगैर उसे हैक करके उस टेलीफोन के कैमरा को हैक कर लेता है, उस टेलीफोन के माइक्रोफोन को हैक कर लेता है, सेलफोन के, उसके सारे पासवर्ड, कॉन्टैक्ट लिस्ट को हैक कर लेता है, और जो बात आप टेलीफोन पर करते हैं या टेलीफोन बंद भी हो, जो कैमरा या माइक्रोफोन के माध्यम से सुनी जा सकती है, वो भी गैर कानूनी नाजायज तरीके से इस पिगेसस सॉफ्टवेयर के माध्यम से सुनी जा सकती है। देशवासियों, आप में से किसी के टेलीफोन के अंदर भी नाजायज तौर से ये इजरायली सॉफ्टवेयर पिगेसस मोदी सरकार डाल सकती है। आपकी बेटी, आपकी पत्नी के टेलीफोन के अंदर ये डाल सकती है। आप अगर बाथरूम में फोन लेकर जा रहे हैं, अपने कमरे के अंदर शयन कक्ष में आपके फोन है, तो आप क्या वार्तालाप कर रहे हैं, आपकी बेटी, आपकी पत्नी, आपका परिवार क्या वार्तालाप कर रहा है, वो सब अब मोदी सरकार सुन सकती है, जिसके फोन के अंदर भी पिगेसस का सॉफ्टवेयर डाल दिया जाए। ये इसका परिणाम है। अगर ये देशद्रोह नहीं, अगर ये राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा से खिलवाड़ नहीं, तो क्या है? और न्यूज रिपोर्ट्स तो अब ये भी कह रही हैं कि केवल पत्रकारों, विपक्ष के नेताओं और खुद के मंत्रियों के नहीं, देश की सुरक्षा एजेंसियों के जो हेड्स हैं, जो हमारी सुरक्षा करते हैं, जो देश की सीमाओं की सुरक्षा करते हैं, मोदी सरकार उनकी भी जासूसी कर रही थी। अरे किसी को तो बख्श दिया होता। राहुल गांधी जी की भी जासूसी और खुद के मंत्रियों की भी जासूसी। आप जो कैमरे के आगे और पीछे हैं, आपकी भी जासूसी, और देश की रक्षा करने वाले हमारे सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस के हेड्स की भी जासूसी। क्या किसी सरकार ने इससे ज्यादा शर्मनाक कुकृत्य कभी किया होगा? और इसके सबूत अब हैं। और देश में जो मुख्य चुनाव आयुक्त हैं, चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर, जो अब पूर्व चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर हैं अशोक लवासा जी, उनकी भी जासूसी। मीडिया ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस की भी जासूसी, जिनके नाम अब तक सामने आए हैं और अभी बहुत नाम होंगे। हिंदू अखबार, इंडियन एक्सप्रेस अखबार, हिंदुस्तान टाइम्स अखबार, द वायर न्यूज एजेंसीज, द मिंट अखबार, टीवी 18 इंडिया, इंडिया टुडे, इकोनॉमिक एंड पॉलिटिकल वीकली, पायनियर, न्यूज क्लिक, ट्रिब्यून, आउटलुक, डीएनए, फ्रंटियर टीवी, रोजाना पहरेदार और पता नहीं कौन कौन, इन सब की जासूसी। इसीलिए तो बीजेपी अब भारतीय जासूस पार्टी बन गई है। और जासूसी के तो वो पुराने इस मामले में करवाते ही रहे हैं। और दोस्तों, ये जासूसी आज से नहीं चल रही, ये पिछले लोकसभा चुनाव से भी पीछे से चल रही है, और इसका सबूत उपलब्ध है। आज मैं वो सबूत आपसे फिर साझा करने लगा हूं। अगर आप इस जासूसी को देखें तो सर्ट इन, जो भारत सरकार की एजेंसी है, ये रिपोर्ट अब अवेलेबल नहीं है, ये उतार ली गई है, मैं इसकी प्रतिलिपि आपको भेज रहा हूं। ये सर्ट इन ने रिपोर्ट दी थी कि व्हाट्सएप के माध्यम से पिगेसस इजरायली सॉफ्टवेयर से टेलीफोन्स को हैक करके सीधे सीधे जासूसी चल रही है। ये मैं नहीं कह रहा, ये भारत सरकार की जो एजेंसी है उन्होंने लिख के रिपोर्ट दी है। और इसमें उन्होंने बाकायदा लिखा, ओरिजिनल इश्यू डेट इज May 17, 2019. A vulnerability has been reported in WhatsApp which could be exploited by a remote attacker to execute arbitrary code on the affected system. और ये बाकायदा ट्रैकर न्यूज और सब कुछ इसके अंदर दिया है। अब साथियों, सवाल ये है कि ये पिगेसस है क्या? ये एक इजरायली कंपनी है NSO, और ये कहते हैं कि हम ये सॉफ्टवेयर केवल और केवल सरकार को ही बेचते हैं और किसी को नहीं। कोई कह सकता है भैया ये तो सरकार, मोदी जी ने तो खरीदा नहीं होगा, तो मैं इसलिए उनकी वेबसाइट का भी आपको रिलीज कर रहा हूं। ये पिगेसस NSO की वेबसाइट से, और उन्होंने साफ तौर से कहा NSO products are used exclusively by government, intelligence and law enforcement agency to fight crime and terror. मोदी जी, राहुल गांधी जी के फोन की जासूसी करवा के आप कौन सा क्राइम और टेरर से लड़ाई लड़ रहे थे। हिंदू, इंडियन एक्सप्रेस, टीवी 18, इंडिया टुडे, फ्रंटियर टीवी, वायर, न्यूज क्लिक, इनकी जासूसी करवाकर आप कौन से टेररिस्ट से लड़ रहे थे? आप हिंदुस्तान के चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर की जासूसी करवाकर कौन से उग्रवादी से लड़ रहे थे? आप एसोसिएशन फॉर डेमोक्रेटिक रिफॉर्म्स के जगदीप छोकर साहब की जासूसी करवाकर कौन से उग्रवादी से लड़ रहे थे?
Okay, so the Congress party there on the offensive with this latest set of names that has come out, which includes Rahul Gandhi, includes Ashok Lavasa, former election commissioner, and also actually the names of Jagdeep Chokhar is also there, which we just heard Randeep Surjewala mention. He is actually with us. Jagdeep Chokhar, you are of course with the Association of Democratic Reforms, which is a kind of political watchdog. Were you surprised at all, Jagdeep Chokhar, when you heard that your name was also on this potential list?
Yes, I was certainly surprised.
And what did you make of it? Why do you think that, if at all, that the idea was to target you? What could the purpose be?
Well, I have actually I don't have an idea, but I think it could be because for the last 20 years we have been working on electoral and political reform, and most or effectively all political parties don't like our work, and therefore they may have felt that there is something sinister in what we are doing, which is not, because all our work is in the public domain.
Now, just to understand, was your phone or your or the kind of details of information on your phone analyzed forensically of whether it was in fact infected or not? Jagdeep Chokhar? Okay. I think, all right, Jagdeep Chokhar, I think we're going to have a little bit of an issue with your line. We will try and come back to you, but we'll just fix that and come back to you. Let me just go back to Mahesh Verma ji. महेश वर्मा जी, सॉरी, आप बता रहे थे कुछ और फिर बीच में कांग्रेस की प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस आ गई, तो आप क्या कहेंगे कि ये जो आरोप लग रहा है, तो महेश जी क्या बेस्ट इसका सोल्यूशन नहीं है कि सरकार इसके ऊपर एक पूरी इंक्वायरी, अगर सरकार कह रही है कि हमारे हाथ साफ हैं, हमारा इससे कोई लेना देना नहीं है, तो क्यों ना इस पे इंक्वायरी ऑर्डर कर दे कि पता चले कि वाकई ऐसा हुआ है, तो क्या ये सही है, गलत है, उसके कौन पीछे है?
मैंने तो शुरू में आपसे कहा कि इसका जस्टिफिकेशन या इसका क्लैरिफिकेशन सरकार क्यों दे, अगर कोई आदमी विक्टिम है। अब ये अभी रणदीप सुरजेवाला जी जो बोल गए वो खुद अपनी ही बात को कंट्राडिक्ट कर गए
जी।
उनका वो ऐसा मान रहे हैं कि इस देश में अब से पहले जो है लोगों का जो फोन या इस देश में फोन टेप कांड हुआ या अभी हाल में ही राजस्थान में जो चीज हो रहा था, ये आपसे पहले जो है, आपसे पहले लोग बाग जो है कोई ऐसा सिस्टम था ही नहीं इसमें लोगों को फोन टेप किया जाए, लोगों की फोन सुनी जाए, लोगों की बात सुन के फिर उसके हिसाब से अपना पॉलिटिकल सारी चीजें अपने पॉलिटिकल हित में जो है कदम उठाई जाए। तो ये सारी बातें जो है मुझे लग रहा है कि ऐसा लग रहा है कि ये जो एक सॉफ्टवेयर है इसके वजह से जो है इस देश में आया। इस देश में से तो आपसे पहले जो है कुछ हुआ ही नहीं। नरसिम्हा राव जी के टाइम में टेप कांड हुआ, उसके बाद अरुण जेटली जी का भी फोन टेप होता रहा। सवाल ये नहीं है, सवाल ये है
नहीं तो पहले होता रहा तो इसका मतलब ये जस्टिफिकेशन नहीं है ना कि अभी भी होता रहेगा।
नहीं, ये आरोप लगाने से पहले श्रीनिवास जी, ये सरकार के ऊपर ये आरोप जड़ने से पहले, सरकार को कटघरे में खड़ा करने से पहले रणदीप सुरजेवाला जी और कांग्रेस ये तय कर ले ये हाईजैक है या फोन टेपिंग है। सरकार के ऊपर वो आरोप क्या लगा रहे हैं, देश के ऊपर वो आरोप क्या लगा रहे हैं?
नहीं, ये तो एक तरह से जिसको अंग्रेजी में कहते हैं कि ये तो हेयर स्प्लिटिंग, चाहे ये हैकिंग है या हाईजैक है, अगर कुछ गलत हुआ है तो गलत हुआ है, तो उस पे सरकार, मैं कह रहा हूं कि आप सरकार में नहीं है, एज ए सिटीजन आपको नहीं लगता कि अगर ऐसा वाकई कोई भारत के सिटीजन को फॉरेन एजेंसियां टारगेट कर रही हैं, उसको सरकार को तो सामने आके कहना चाहिए कि हम इसको पूरी तरह से जांच करेंगे। सरकार यहाँ कह रही है इसमें ये कोई स्टोरी ही नहीं है, इसमें एक सेंसेशनलिज्म है।
सर मैं तो शुरुआती दौर में ही अपने वक्तव्य में, अपने स्टेटमेंट में ये कहा कि अगर मेरे साथ कोई गलत हुआ है, किसी ने गलत किया है, तो हमें जो हमारा कानून में अधिकार जो मुझे मिलता है उसके तहत हमें कंप्लेन करना चाहिए। और अभी तो जगदीश जी का नाम आप लोग ले रहे थे और वो यहाँ उपस्थित है, क्या वो कांग्रेस के समर्थक हैं इसलिए उनका फोन टेप हो रहा था? क्या ये जितने मीडिया हाउसेस हैं कांग्रेस के समर्थन में काम कर रही थी? रणदीप सुरजेवाला जी क्या कहना चाह रहे थे?
अच्छा, चलिए, let me just get Aishwarya Mahadev in. Aishwarya, how do you respond to this allegation that nobody has a clean conscience when it comes to tapping? It may have been the center, if it is indeed the center as you've accused, at the central level, but Congress has also done it.
You know, the fact of the matter still remains that, as the previous, as Sir very nicely pointed out, that this could have been something that was done off the bat without even, you know, the government being responsible or BJP being responsible. Then Srinivasan, that's a far more serious allegation and also far more dangerous in terms of a security breach.
Right.
The little thing that nobody seems to understand, especially on that side of the spectrum, is that the NSO, even in their response, their press statement put out at 5 a.m. this morning, they said they will look into the allegations because journalists being targeted is obviously void of what they're actually giving to.
Right.
There's no clarification saying India is not a part of it. And when you talk about crime and terror, and you see leaders of opposition, you see journalists, you see Sir here who's on the panel, who does a lot of work for democratic reform being targeted, it obviously seeks to have far more clarity. And the government cannot hide behind, you know, nitpicking or even rhetoric or saying, you know, Congress did it, we did it, because this is a grave global breach. This was a company that was also involved with Khashoggi. And you also realize what happened because they work with Saudi. So, you know, authoritarian regimes use technology like this, and we sit here claiming to be a democracy and allowing our government to go scot-free for this? Absolutely not. That
in fact, as we are getting more and more details of names that have been supposedly targeted in these stories done by The Wire and others, Shadhan Farasat, interesting to also see that apparently the person who had accused former Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi of sexual harassment, she and 8 numbers belonging to her, her husband and 2 of her brothers added just days before her allegations were first reported. Shadhan Farasat.
Yeah, I think Justice Ranjan Gogoi, now who is a Rajya Sabha member, his term was one of the most controversial, and after the allegations were made, the way he conducted himself along with, you know, even though he was a Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, it almost seemed like he was functioning along with the government. So, I mean, it comes as a surprise, but it also doesn't come as a surprise, you know, these kind of things. So, I think the pattern, if there is one can say in all of this, is that any person who can potentially be a person of interest or somebody who will question the government,
right,
be it in whatever way, political, non-political, otherwise, or a person
right,
who is within the government, who the powers that be thought could be potential, you know, threats of some kind in terms of what they're thinking, what their strategy, they have all been snooped upon using this spyware. That's exactly what seems to have happened.
Okay. Jagdeep Chokar, we have you back. Jagdeep Chokar, I was asking you, you know, does it concern you that indeed if you were targeted, does it concern you in terms of you going about the work that you've been doing?
Not really, because the work that we have been doing has, as I said, has always been in the public domain. There is nothing secret about what we do. And therefore, if somebody wants to listen to my conversation, well, so be it. They would also listen to a whole lot of light-hearted banter. And I don't think there is anything incriminating in what would be heard on my phone.
Okay.
So I am not really concerned, but I am surprised as to why such serious effort was being wasted on somebody like me.
Okay. Pawan Duggal, last word from you before we take a break. That the kind of question I was asking Shadhan, you said that any such malware is illegal under Indian law if indeed Indian citizens have been targeted by it, and if the government is not going to come out and try and find out who's behind it or offer some recourse, at least that's what it seems right now. What is the recourse?
Well, the recourse is that any affected person whose name is on the list can land up suing both the NSO and also the government for the failure of the government to ensure the protection of the fundamental right to privacy. If this has happened, without the knowledge or without the intervention of the government, then the government is even more responsible for the same. Because as per the judgment of the Supreme Court in Justice Puttaswamy versus Union of India, you have a bounden duty to protect the privacy of your citizens.
Right.
So you can seek damages. You can also seek an appropriate relief under the writ jurisdiction against the government, declaring this entire exercise, and you can even ask for compensation from the government. These are some of the options available that you have. You can also go ahead and file a cybercrime complaint against NSO for doing these activities, which are crimes under the Indian IT law.
Okay. In fact, WhatsApp had taken NSO to court, I believe, in 2019 against this alleged breach, and that is an ongoing litigation going on in courts in America. Also joining us is Rohini Singh, journalist with The Wire, who, again, is part of The Wire, as we know, is amongst the publications that has come out with this Pegasus papers, as well as Rohini, I believe your own phone was also on the list of the potentially targeted phones. So let's just see if we can get your link up. We'll just come back to you, Rohini Singh, in just a second. But okay, so really, as you were just saying, Mr. Duggal, that really the option is that you have to basically seek some kind of legal recourse if you want to hold whoever is accountable. Let me just try to go back to you, Rohini Singh. Just run us, Rohini Singh, through some of the new names that are breaking on The Wire. Rahul Gandhi, Prashant Kishore, Abhishek Banerjee, 2 union ministers, Ashok Lavasa, and also, Rohini Singh, we're seeing, Justice Gogoi's accuser, cluster of phones pertaining to her.
Absolutely, Srinivasan, and the next few days will also see some, big names coming out, and, the stories will reveal that. And I think so far what has happened, it's not easy for the government to dismiss everything as some great international conspiracy that the Indian government is inclined to do time and again, whether it was the Hathras case or this. Some of these phones have been tested. Prashant Kishore's phone has been tested. The bug, the malware was discovered in his phone. So there are answers that the government must give, and I think those answers go beyond everything is an international conspiracy to derail our parliament session.
And Rohini, just tell me about your own experience when you discovered your own phone was on this list. What were your first thoughts?
Frankly, I wasn't surprised, and neither would you have been if you were told this, because all of us journalists who do investigative stories, and especially under this government, have been told, and I have been told for the last few years, that my phone's always under interception. I'm not very worried about myself. Of course, there are privacy issues involved here, but I'm concerned about sources, people I speak to, who take great risks to give me the sort of information that they do. So when I heard a few months ago that my phone was on the list, I was not surprised, but I was disturbed because I know the extent of this hack. And it's not a normal phone surveillance. This is not like getting your WhatsApp call records to figure out who you're speaking to. And I was worried for my sources.
And were your phones amongst the phones that was submitted for analysis, and was it found to be infected?
I'm in the process of submitting my phone because my data, my encrypted data, is not being able to get transferred for some reason. So that should happen in a couple of days. But as of now, I haven't gotten my phone tested. It hasn't been tested yet.
Okay, all right. So Rohini Singh there, we'll have to leave it there for now. Big breaking story coming out of the latest set of revelations pertaining to Pegasus. More names tumbling out, big political names as well. The aftershocks likely to continue. We'll take a break now, but we'll be tracking this big story on NDTV.